Hello everybody, welcome back to Frankly Speaking. My name is Frank, and today we're going to talk about superlatives. He is the fastest runner in the world. The fastest is an example of a superlative adjective, and this is what we're looking at today. Now I have a question for you. What is the biggest animal on Earth? It's not an ant, because an ant is too small, and it's not a bird, because birds are usually not very big, except for maybe an ostrich. So, maybe you know the answer. If you don't, you'll find out the answer later in the video. Now, there are 4 types of superlative adjective transformations. We change an adjective depending on the number of syllables, and also the ending letter. And of course, there are some irregular adjectives. The first transformation is with 1-syllable adjectives. These become the plus est at the end, like tall is the tallest, big is the biggest. Remember that if an adjective ends in consonant, vowel, consonant, then you need to double the final consonant. 2-syllable adjectives ending in y. For this one, you just need to change y to I and add the est. So happy becomes the happiest, funny becomes the funniest. For 2 or more syllable adjectives, we add the most or the least plus the adjective. Today we're just really focusing on the most. So peaceful becomes the most peaceful, beautiful becomes the most beautiful. And irregular adjectives, as you know, maybe, hopefully, irregular means there is no rule. So in this case, it's different for each word. Good can be the best, bad is the worst, far is the furthest or the farthest with an A, much or many is the most. So now let's talk about the differences between a comparative and a superlative adjective. First off, unlike comparatives, we use the article the with superlatives. The blue whale is the biggest animal on Earth. There's your answer. The blue whale is the answer for what animal is the biggest animal on Earth. James is the funniest person in my school. This park is the most peaceful place in my neighborhood. And she is the best singer in my class. Notice that we use the in all of these sentences. But sometimes we omit or we don't write or say the. She is my best friend. Of all the buildings, that one is tallest. It's the biggest and most beautiful bird. In these 3 examples, we don't need the. Now, we might be able to use the, but we don't need it. In the first one, you absolutely don't need the. You shouldn't use it because we never use the when we use a possessive pronoun with that adjective. So any word like my, your, his, her, its, their, or our, we write that before the adjective, but we don't write the. Of all the buildings, now in this example, we know what we're talking about. We're talking about buildings, and this information is at the beginning of the sentence. So when the adjective is at the end of the sentence in the predicative clause, then this is optional. You don't need to use the. You can use it, but you don't need to. So of all the buildings, that one is tallest, or that one is the tallest is okay. And finally, when you list 2 or more superlative adjectives for the same subject, it's the biggest and most beautiful bird. We have 2 adjectives here, the biggest and the most beautiful. Then you don't need to repeat the. Again, you can repeat it, but maybe it sounds a bit unnatural. Now, comparatives versus superlatives. What are comparatives and what are superlatives? When do we use one or the other? What is the difference between these two? Look at these examples here. Emilio is faster than me. This one is comparative. Or Emilio is the fastest runner in my class. This one is superlative. The answer here is that for the comparative, we are comparing two things, Emilio and me. Emilio is faster than me. But with superlatives, we're comparing more than two things, Emilio and everybody in my class. So many people. So when you compare more than two things, then, and you want to say who is the best, the top, then you need to use superlatives. Now, superlatives are flexible. And what do I mean by flexible? I mean, you can write the same information many different ways. Emilio is the fastest runner in my class. The fastest runner in my class is Emilio. Of all the students, Emilio is fastest, or the fastest. And my fastest classmate is Emilio. Notice sometimes we use the, sometimes we don't need it. And also notice that the superlative adjective can go anywhere in a sentence, at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. Now look at this picture and read the example. I like to run with my friends Ling and Jasmine. Ling is the fastest runner in the picture, and Jasmine is the slowest. Here we use two superlative adjectives to describe the picture. Now look at this picture. We could describe this many different ways, but I definitely see that there is one very big dog and one small dog here. So these are my neighborhood dogs. The biggest dog is in the middle. She is a poodle. The smallest dog is next to her. His name is Cody. Okay, I've used superlative adjectives and I've used some prepositions to describe where they are in the picture. Now it's your turn. How would you describe these three animals using superlatives? We've got a cheetah, a cat, and a macaw. I'll give you a few superlatives to help you. So here's a list of adjectives that you could use to describe them. Please pause the video and try to think of a few sentences using these adjectives to describe which one is the fastest, the most colorful, the laziest, etc. Okay, I'll give you some examples here. Hopefully you paused and thought of some examples yourself, but here are some possible answers. And this is my opinion. The cheetah is the fastest. It is the most beautiful. And these are three different ways you could say the same information. The cheetah is the fastest and the most beautiful. The fastest and most beautiful animal is the cheetah. About the cat is the laziest, it is the cutest, it is the funniest. The cat is the laziest, the cutest, and the funniest. The laziest, cutest, and funniest animal is the cat. And finally, for the macaw is the most colorful, it is the loudest, it is the silliest. The macaw is the most colorful, the loudest, and the silliest. Or the most colorful, loudest, and silliest animal is the macaw. All right. So, can you answer these questions? If you can, please leave a comment after the video, at the bottom of the video, and I would love to read some of your opinions on these. What are some of the best movies? What are some of the most dangerous animals? What are some of the best actors? Who are some of the best actors? And who are some of your funniest friends? All right. I'd like to thank you all for watching. This is the end of the video. I will be uploading a new video very soon, so thank you for staying tuned, and thank you if you're one of the new subscribers. Thank you for waiting patiently for a new video. Okay, thank you everybody. Bye-bye.